Begin transmission. Hello, everybody. It is Ben and I, Starrapter, here for Outer Rim Transmission number 30. We have a very special show for you guys tonight and this week. We are doing our first ever Star Wars movie commentary. So we are starting chronologically with the Phantom Menace. So for those of you that are joining us live and after the fact, I will give you guys just a couple minutes to get started. We are watching this on Disney Plus, as I'm sure most of you probably have if you are Star Wars fans. So basically go to the Phantom Menace movie and start it and then pull the scroll thingy all the way to the left at 000, and we should all be synced up. But I will give you guys a countdown when we are ready to start that up. So how are things with you, Ben?
Good. Just interesting week for Star Wars. Not too much news until today. I mean, we'll get into that next week. That's a teaser for next week's podcast. We have that. I am 100% thinking and predicting potentially by the time we have another podcast episode, I think we might have the trailer for Boba Fett. Like, I think there's a really good chance it's coming. If it's not here this coming Monday night, as in 3 days from now, we won't have it until Disney Plus Day. So I'm predicting right now, I think we get the trailer Monday night.
What makes you say that? Is there any kind of rumblings or anything special that you heard of that might have cause for?
Well, I mean, we had this big news story break today. We had that happen, and then we've just had like kind of a dead space in like the Star Wars news world as of late. So I think it's just leading up to it, and also if you look at like the history of Mando and like even the other shows, basically the other shows on Disney Plus, that is. Like the overall marketing strategy for them specifically is they release a trailer about 10 weeks before the show comes out, and Book of Boba comes out December 29th. So, this coming Monday is October 25th. So we're about 8-9 weeks away from the Book of Boba or so. So I think that gives credence to a trailer happening, because I don't think they'll give it another, basically 3 weeks to wait till the Disney Plus Day, because by then you're 4 weeks away or 5 weeks away or so from the show. Like, I think the trailer has to be this coming Monday night, and yeah, I'm predicting it Monday night. Like, if it's not Monday night, it's November 12th.
Yeah, they can't release a trailer a week before the event and then be like, oh, we're having another event. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Well, basically what I'm thinking is with the trailer is I think this trailer, if it happens Monday night, I think there's a chance they'll roll it. Basically, that'll be the push, like, oh, continue, you know what I mean? Like, go to Disney Plus next on November 12th, like, basically is like a leaping stone.
Oh, I could see that happening, because that could be like the promo teaser for everybody to get excited for November 12th when all this other cool news comes out, not just with Star Wars.
Yeah.
So then people will have on the brain, they'll be talking with their buddies. Oh, did you hear about November 12th? They're showing us all this other stuff. So that could be a pretty ingenious plan, because what else is bigger, will get more eyes for Disney and Disney Plus as a brand when a brand new Boba Fett trailer drops on a Monday Night Football game. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. I know it's like the Boba watch, the hashtag Boba Fett trailer watch or something that we've been having here quite frequently on the show. We're going to forego our week in Star Wars this week, because we are watching this movie. I want to keep this podcast down to under 2.5 hours for those of you that are watching and listening. But I will quickly go over this week's releases. We have Star Wars Adventures issue number 11, which had a really cool Rogue Squadron story. We had the High Republic issue number 11 that came out this week, which had a really crazy moment that shocked everybody that read it, that has to do with the fate of a certain character and an introduction and a reveal of a character we've heard about and haven't necessarily seen a lot of. And we also had the conclusion to the Ghost of Vader's Castle with issue number 5 from Cavan Scott, another spooky Star Wars miniseries has seen its finale. So you can see reviews for all of those except my High Republic issue number 11. I'm going to be doing my wrap up of the High Republic comics that came out this week later on this month. So there you go. You can find out more about those over on the YouTube channel. So we are gonna just dive in. This is a 2 hour and 15 minute film, so we want to get started with this quickly. So how this is gonna work is, like I said off the top, everybody hopefully by now has had time to queue up their Disney Plus or their DVD or whatever. We're going off of Disney Plus, so you're gonna roll that all the way back, that scroll wheel all the way to 000. And the idea of us doing the commentaries is, first off, well, we have a little bit of dead space between now and the Book of Boba Fett. Don't expect a whole lot of news. So I figured, on slow weeks, when we, like this week, when we don't really get any news stories, we're gonna try to, do a commentary if we can. So it's a great way to just talk about a Star Wars film in a different way that we haven't done before, and I've never done a commentary, so I've been very excited about that. And for those of you that are listening to us in audio form or YouTube or watching us YouTube, this is not a mandatory thing. Obviously, nothing's mandatory. You're listening to a podcast, but we hope that this is an interesting enough podcast where you don't have to sit there and watch the movie to like get our feedback off of the movie. Hopefully, we have nice organic conversations that develop with us just seeing certain scenes before us. And hopefully, there's not a lot of dead air, but there could be because these are Star Wars movies, and sometimes I'm gonna just be like, "This is beautiful," and this is Star Wars, and that's why you don't hear me talking a lot because I'm just taking it in for the 50th time.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, just to hop in there, I don't. Just so anybody watching this or joining us after the fact, or even listening, don't worry. Like, this whole thing isn't going to be a watch party, because you see some other YouTubers that literally will just do a watch party like this and just sit here silent for 2 hours straight and not say anything. Like, we're going to be like talking about the movie and, our thoughts and blah, 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 blah. And, really get into it.
Yeah. So we already have one listener that's chiming in. We have Red 5 Reviews. Hey, what's up, buddy? That's Adam Bryant from his channel. He does a lot of cool Star Wars book reviews. Check him out. So without further ado, I'm going to count from the count of three, and we are going to start our first ever Star Wars film commentary. I'm really looking forward to this. You ready, Ben?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, man. See, that 20th Century Fox logo is always a kicker because we just don't get that anymore.
Oh yeah, no, the 20th Century Fox logo is great. Like, and that's like the classic like makings of Star Wars.
Seriously, it's literally one of the aspects that will live on with you from our generation. Like, you just hear that noise, it's Star Wars. Like, you see that, and it would be like the Star Wars trailer, right? Like, you see that, a Star Wars trailer is coming in the theater because you're like, oh my gosh, and then you see the Lucasfilm logo, and it just blows your mind. So let me ask you, did you get a chance to see episode 1 in the theaters when it first came out?
Yeah, I actually I was 6 years old when episode 1 came out. So, my grandma, she actually took me to go see it, and it was opening night. It was like whenever it was opening night, and we went and saw it, and it was amazing. And I remember being a kid, just it was so impactful. Just, of course, like the visuals, like this opening sequence is like really what grabs you into the film. Like, holy smokes, like this, like what's happening here. So it really hooks you, and to me, it's one of the best openings of any Star Wars. Like, this whole sequence with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, like, it's one of the best openings.
Yeah, for me, I seen this. I was in, I believe, second grade, and I remember being out on the playground, just like so excited, like, I can't wait to see this movie. I cannot wait to see this movie. And then I seen it that night. Like, it's for a big deal for a kid. Like, it's a school night, and yet I was still able to go out and watch brand new Star Wars with my mother. I believe it was just my mother that took me. I usually go see most of all the Star Wars movies with her. I love the design of this ship, this kind of like emissary ship.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I mean, I always just view it as like a political transport, basically.
I have a model of it for the Star Wars Armada game, and then like right off the get-go, you see Newt Gunray. It's like this brand new alien species. You see like all this new stuff, right? You see these big orbital blockade ships. Like, what the heck is even going on here right now?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I actually had the Lego set for all for those like the droid fighters. This I had the Lego set for this embassy ship actually when I was a kid.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so this is really neat seeing the cloaked Jedi. Right, we've never seen like the Padawan and a master kind of thing that we've heard about. You know, with Luke, he's at the end of the Jedi, and we're getting into the Phantom Menace, seeing Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, seeing a protocol droid, and seeing looking at the environments, seeing how clean the environments are, so much different than what we've seen in the original trilogy that lived in feeling. So George Lucas really setting the bar high, being like, this is a brand new era for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, like that's I think one of the biggest aspects of this film and the prequels as a whole that everybody overlooks, especially the chatter that built up and negativity that built up over the years about them. But I think the fact of how like nice they look, um, and it's just a really good precursor that builds to like the Republic was so high and like like high and mighty. You go from that to being how like almost rough the original trilogy is.
Yeah.
Like because they've been beaten down by the government, or you know what I'm saying.
We got a couple live comments coming in. Red Five reviews saying I saw it in theaters too. I think I was around 9 or 10. Same here, man. I think I was just about 9 years old, which is the age of Anakin Skywalker, which is why I really resonated with this movie more than I think a lot more people did. We also have Aaron Daly. Hey, how's it going? I saw episode 1 with my dad and sister, and I still have the Pepsi posters that gave out at the theater. That's awesome. Red Five is also saying I remember being excited about seeing a young Obi-Wan. Yeah, seeing Ewan McGregor, man. We just wouldn't know how much we would love this character first seeing him in this and how much he would grow as such a pivotal character through this prequel trilogy here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, one of the biggest things I remember as a kid thinking when seeing Ewan, I was like, wait, how is Obi-Wan younger? Because as a kid, you're like, what's going on here? But then it all adds up, and my grandma basically explained, no, this movie comes before the other ones.
Yeah, so seeing everything, oh my gosh, I will make it legal. Like that is one of my favorite lines that I constantly have in the back of my head. Just seeing Palpatine in this was like, oh wow, like right off the bat, that's the Emperor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was phenomenal. Like just that was another one. Like seeing the Emperor in this, basically, it made me want to go out and buy the Emperor toy just because I was like, holy smokes, that's Palpatine. That's the guy from the other movies.
Yeah, see, like I just got so sucked into this movie, like they must be dead by now. Like there's the Doxus gas, and this is the
That's
first
and
part where you see the comedy from the droids come out, you know?
yep. And this is part of that Obi-Wan game we always reference on here I mean constantly. Like the Obi-Wan game, this is one of the final levels. Like you go into this ship and you're actually having to like deal with the toxin stuff, and you have to get the door open quick enough or you'll die, and that's one of the biggest parts of that
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I
It's
actually
a blast.
remember more of the Obi-Wan game. I remember the original, the Phantom Menace PlayStation game, or in my case, I had it on the PC, and it was hilarious because I had this PC game that I literally bought that my computer could not play. I could not play the game because our computer just wouldn't work. It didn't have the right
Hmm.
specs to play it. So I had to constantly bring it over either of my aunt's houses to play the game. But I remember like constantly playing this level because I'd basically have to start the game over every single time because I'd be playing it on somebody else's computer, bringing a disc with me everywhere I went. And I remember like having to download the game like every time I'm waiting like an hour to play this freaking video game that was very
Hmm.
subpar. If I go back, it's probably one of the worst Star Wars games because it's like a movie tie-in game. But
Oh yeah.
and this is where we really start to hear how great John Williams was with creating the soundtrack. I mean, man, is it one of the strongest soundtracks you'll ever hear. That's easily one of the better parts of the prequel trilogy is just how grand this soundscape was between the sounds and between just the rousing just music that gets you through it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like this, it just really sucks you in, I guess. Like, it's John Williams. What do you expect? But um I just think his music plays so well with the prequels, like the vibe of the prequels, the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the epicness of the prequels. Like there's definitely an epic feel to the prequels, even compared to the the original trilogy has like epic standards and